So the one of the challenges of launching a sort of a new organization or this investment cooperative uh, on a concept of art space development, on sort of creative placemaking, without a real project to sink our teeth into, was going to be something I needed to address out of the gate. So the past couple of years I've been in Syracuse, I've been really taking stock of what properties are available, what neighborhoods are up and coming, what neighborhoods could be looked at as potential kind of makers hoods, as you see on this slide here. And the near west side, actually, where I just got done, kind of referencing, was an area I spent a lot of time looking. I lived over there for a short period. I would actually put a bid on a building for an artist studio that fell through. Looking at the near north side and even the near south side to some extent. And an opportunity came up where I was, after giving a few public presentations about Crystal City, I was contacted and I learned that Spark Contemporary Art Space, which is the commercial tenant in this building here, was, after 19, 20 years, kind of going out of business. It was a volunteer run art kind of clubhouse. It really wasn't a business, didn't have a 501c3 status, it wasn't incorporated. It was just sort of a pass the keys room rental. But the neighborhood around it has been changing exponentially. This is right at the base of the university. Downtown is right here. This is the Howley Green neighborhood. There's been a lot of development along the Erie Boulevard corridor. This is the 81 question here. This Genesee Street corridor is hyper development, lots of new housing, lots of new apartment complexes. So this little building right here, which is Spark, was something I jumped at the opportunity to become a co-owner of and sign a lease on. We have a 3-year commercial lease there, and I've been cooperating it with a partner. Now, at the time of making this video, I am actually now, as a few days ago, a week ago, the sole proprietor of Spark Contemporary Art Space, and I'm in the process of finding a new collective ownership group for it. And I'm also, through Crystal City Creative Spaces, trying to line up an opportunity to buy this building with its 12 residential units above, and sort of do that AS 220 model where we had the art space down below and artist live work and residencies above. And then at the time of signing this lease, there was this property here and this property here and this property here were all available and or at least negotiable. And so the idea that you've been looking at on this slide here is this concept of the co-development of this entire block as a live work maker's hood with the funky counterculture cafe gallery space, live work housing artists, a co-working commercial art center, and a community theater and performing arts center here with an administrative building. It's sort of in the center of the whole campus. The bigger picture for me was really talking about this idea of firing up this idea of the Canal District. There's a lot of energy and money being poured into redeveloping the Old Erie Canal thoroughfare as a more pedestrian-friendly, commuter-friendly area. And so again, this is sort of our zone of it here, the old red light district, they called it, where we could, again, incentivize through the codification of real districting here, which, again, I'll touch on later. Syracuse is getting millions of dollars to research the benefit of economic development through cultural districting, that we actually look at the ribbon of the old canal sort of footprint as an area to do that in. So again, this would be sort of the campus here. This is parking for a building across the street, and then this is all controlled by SUNY Upstate Medical, and we can only imagine this is going to be developed at some point in the near future. So we also were the idea of maybe even encouraging the development here to be in the context of maybe the arts, if possible. And then this is the building's facade. We currently have the lounge at Spark, which we're developing a cafe space and sort of in a multimedia center. We have our show at Spark room with our live music and art gallery. space, and then we have Move at Spark, which is our dance space, yoga, meditation, and then again 12 units above. Um, all the different uses and some outdated photographs. We've actually done a lot since, but it's already got a built-in audience. People come all ages to shows there all the time. It's just a basic room rental right now. But the idea really is to bring in, which I've been investing in the assets and the hard equipment to do, is a cafe space which could accommodate all of the programming. So right now, these are all separate commercial spaces that we're looking to design into one contiguous mixed use. These would be sliding barn doors, so you could open up or close these spaces. Build in the cafe space, enhance the bathroom, put in some extra seating. And these are some kind of visuals that articulate the vision of kind of the look, feel, very rustic, farm to table, kind of community oriented, very grassroots, welcoming, and kind of artistic and creative in its own right. And then the business model really is a showcase of locally produced food. So local brands, local vendors. We wouldn't have our own kitchen making our own food. We would be showcasing locally produced foods for retail. So breads, baked goods, muffins, coffees, teas, juices, you name it. Any savory or sweet food stuff and or beverage. We could resell there and have it as sort of this gallery of local culinary arts. And then, of course, converting the apartments upstairs to live work. And then, this is a building that potentially is still on the market, for a co-working space. It's already got ceramic studios in it. It's already got a commercial kitchen. You could build on the roof. You could do more to it. It's a very industrious building. And then this firehouse was decommissioned by the city recently and is potentially on the sales block. And we imagined there being a performing arts theater with a stage, a little mini bar. You could open this up to the community. And then, of course, this little beautiful canal era carriage house as the administrative offices. And so, that in a nutshell is really kind of where I'm at with that. And I'll pause, briefly after this. The building is listed. We have been in negotiation with the owner to make a purchase, and we need, really to incorporate Crystal City to be able to pull this off, or buy the building, as is today, small group of people, as incorporate an LLC, and then have Crystal City eventually assume ownership, buy it from that group, or transition the property into the portfolio. So that's sort of like that kind of in a little bit of a wrap, and then I'm going to zoom it into sort of literally the sort of the tires screeching to the earth here, and kind of where we are today, and so yep, let's move on.